Hey friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to the show! It's Monday giveaways, yo. First Monday of every month, I do 4 giveaways. 3 of those giveaways are for patrons. If you want to get in on those giveaways, CiottiFPV.com, maybe it's this way, I don't know, has a link to my Patreon. The $5 a month tier will enter you to win Cinewhoop and toothpick stuff. $10 a month tier will enter you to win 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop stuff. $20 a month, 5-inch parts. I buy most of these parts myself. The price of the tiers is from like the cost of the parts, basically. Any one of these tiers, you're gonna get between like $50 and $100 worth of stuff. I'll show you what the actual giveaway stuff is right before we do it. We get it started around 11 o'clock. That's how it works. If you have an extra $1 a day and you fly all that stuff, I do this so that like if you only fly Cinewhoops, you can only enter to win Cinewhoop stuff, so that when you win something, you can use it. How many times have you won something that you can't use? It's the biggest smack in the face ever. I was going to say something much more awful, but it's a G-rated live stream, at least for like 5 or 10 minutes. And so, yeah, that's how it works, yo. But for $1 a day, there's a tier that enters you into all 3 of those giveaways. The 4th giveaway is open to anybody, regardless of whether or not you want to jump onto Patreon. And we do that with some fun stuff. The big item in that tier is the Gangly fan. Keep your digital stuff from melting down on your desk. Very kindly produced by Douglas Otwell. Just super, super, super cool. Uses a barrel plug so you can hook up your goggle batteries to it. And you've got a little wireless fan. You can also stand it up like this and use it as a solder fumes ejection device. It's a weird thing to call it. I'm finally not feeling like complete awfulness, but my voice is still a little bit wrecked, and I'm doing the smoker's cough thing. But hopefully that'll be gone in the next couple of days. Thanks for sticking with me while I was quite sick for a full week. For I don't know why. It felt like COVID, but it was not. I tested. So yeah, I appreciate that. Oh God, get over here. Why do you hate me picking you up so much, you fuzzy bastard, you? Teddy and I are getting... Teddy and I are getting groomed this week. So say goodbye to all this hair, friends. Ah, relax, buddy boy. All right, he doesn't like being on the live stream. He doesn't seem to like cameras. Whenever we point like our phones at him to take a picture, he's like, I'm out of here now. No, it's not playtime, buddy, not playtime. Please don't be one of the squeaky toys. If he starts squeaking a toy like crazy and it's driving you guys nuts, please let me know in the chat. I've tuned it out at this point. So yeah, please do let me know. If I try to keep the non-squeaky toys down here, but he's all over the place. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. If you do that, it'll light up on orange. You can do that with each other. If you want to get Malo FPV's attention, in your little chat message, type MAYLO space FPV. If you do that, for Malo, his own name will light up in orange. So if you want to get somebody's attention, yeah, do it. Type their name. You can put an @ in front of it, but you don't have to. As long as you type their name and you spell it right and you put the spaces in the right spots for that person, it'll light up in orange. That's how you get my attention. You can also do super chats if you want to donate to the madness that is trying to do FPV full time. It's been coming up on 4 years, and it's been a hell of a ride. So yeah, that supports that. CiottiFPV.com has a bunch of other ways that you can support me, some of which you don't even have to pay money for, like a whole bunch of affiliate links. Oh, by the way, hey, that flight footage at the beginning of the live stream was this silly little iFlight Alpha A65. This with a motor swap, with a sensible set of motors put on it. This comes with 0803. If you were to buy this thing as a bind and fly, it comes with 0803 17,000 kV motors, and it's 1S. That is like one of the worst motor options for a 65 millimeter rig. 0803s are way too big for this size propeller, 1.2 inch. And 17,000 kV is like less than half the kV that you would really want. So yeah, with a motor swap, this thing really comes alive and it flies really decent. This, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff, has been and is being added to my Etsy store, which is linked over on CiottiFPV.com. I can't have the beeping, guys. I just can't. I can't do it. It's not something that I can handle. Hang on. Okay. Thank you for not beeping anymore. Just, you get off of there. Come on. There we go. All right. We're all set. Everything's fine. We're going to be okay. So, yeah, this is going to be for sale over there soon. I have like 40 plus things to put up on the Etsy store. I added a whole bunch last week, a whole bunch the week before, so go check it out. It's linked on CiottiFPV.com. Yeah. If there's something that's not up there that you know that I have, just message me, and it's all good. We'll figure it out. Such as 0.99 millimeter drill bits, so that you stop ruining Cinewhoop motors by ramming propellers onto them. If you're ever putting a Cinewhoop propeller on and you start to make a face, or you start to like go like this, stop! You're gonna ruin that motor. The motor shaft and the bell are like laser welded together, and it holds up to some abuse, but it eventually does fail, and that takes the whole motor with it. That motor is worthless at that point. Easiest way to prevent that from happening is to take a 0.99 millimeter drill bit and run it down the propellers every time before you put them on there. There are propellers that are a perfect fit, like the Gemfan 1210 biblades, but most propellers are too tight. That's what she said. Maybe it's not. For me it is, though. What else is happening, yo? In the chat, Curtis Hayes was first, Smoking Dog Cujo is next, McMucus, Doubles FPV, Cloudhopper, Hockey Round, Scotty Scott, Denzel the Terrible, Malo FPV, Smirk Station, Spaceman Spiff, Denzel the Terrible, C-Joe, Porky Chop FPV, Levster, FP Avery, Bob Bruce, Brian, FPV Toast, Notice, Dave S, Levster again. Holy hell, Joshua Pardwell with $100 super chat. Sending some of that 500 that one of his fellas super chatted to earlier. sending a fifth of that my way. Joshua, thank you so much if you're still here. If you didn't know, Joshua is kind of the reason that this whole thing started. He long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, when I lived in Charleston with my ex-wife, he came to hang out, and we did a live stream we did one of his live streams from my apartment. And at the end of it, like, I'll just never forget, he was like, yo, you're really good at this. Like, you should think about doing this. And then not too much time goes by, and I got laid off for my project management job at the beginning of the big cough. And I messaged him, and I was like, hey, this is obviously not the way to do it if you're going to go full time with like your passion is like when you're making the same amount of money at your passion as you are at your day job. That's when you do it. That's the intelligent way. I hadn't even started to monetize FPV. And so I said to him, like, yeah, this is probably the worst idea ever, right? What do you think? And the words that he said to me have been like my mantra ever since, which were, if not now, then when? And that's just, those were like, every time I doubt myself, like those are the words that I go back to, and I just keep going and I keep going and I keep going. And, yeah, that's kind of, like I said, that's how this started, and it's been a hell of a ride. And I'm so incredibly lucky that yeah, to have known him in general, but like for him to have said that, like it was just literally life-changing, and it's been amazing since. So there you go. Joshua, thank you so much, man. Incredibly generous. Holy cow. Cjo with a 1999 super chat. He says, I'll take second place. Fair enough. Thank you, dude. Douglas 6, Notice, Smirk Station, Kyle Ireland Tech, Can I Get a Channel, Dave S, FP Avery, Curtis Hayes, Dave S, who else do we have here? Frank Nicholas, GeoRam65, YouTube just did the thing and scrolled me to the bottom, so I've lost my place, and so I will miss a couple of people. Come on back next time and I won't miss you, I promise. Christopher Robin, Notice, Lewis, the Roman numerals, Render, Levitated FPV, Whizbang, Levitated, Brandon's Baked Beans, our resident Black Box Ninja is in the house. McBucus, Polly Shortcuts. Who else? Like I said, I'm missing people. Apologies. Come on back Wednesday, and I'll get you for sure. CMYK FPV. Thanks for coming, friends. Sit right back. Enjoy yourselves. At around 11 o'clock, we'll kick off the giveaways. You've got the next 45 minutes if you want to get in on one of the three or all three Patreon giveaways. Why is the computer running so bad? What's happening? What are you doing? EWC proxy. What the hell's that? EWC proxy. I'm tempted to just kill it. I'm just going to kill it. Hopefully it doesn't... EWC. What the hell's EWC? EOS webcam? No. Don't force quit that. Is it unwatchable? Oh, it's unwatchable, isn't it? Yeah, that's not too bad. Why, as soon as I start doing this, does it stop freezing? It was like freezing a lot a minute ago, right? Let me know if it's unwatchable, friends. Lewis says it's fine for him. Okay, cool. I don't know what I was saying. Words. Great. Tonight we are going to... Oh. We're going to do things tonight. Those of you that were here yesterday for the little short, quick live stream after I got back from a gig, I'd mentioned that Atlanta Pride, which I flew for last year and had an absolute blast. It was one of the highlights of 2023 for me, for sure. They chose to go with somebody else to fly at this year's Pride, which is next weekend. And I was super bummed. A, because, you know, losing gigs sucks, but B, like, it was really, really fun. And I had like such a bad taste in my mouth that I didn't even want to go. And like, if I go, like, I want to fly it. Last year, I offered to volunteer. Like, I messaged him. I said, "Hey, I want to volunteer to help, and here's what I do." And I was like, I want to volunteer to fly the event and give you guys the footage and blah blah blah. And they were like blown away by some of my work, and they said, "Look, we're gonna find budget for you for at least one of the 2 days." And I was like, even better. I would literally have done it for nothing. And they said, "Look, next year we're gonna bring you on for sure and pay you for both days. Like, thank you so much, whatever." And so like it wasn't even. I just assumed that there wasn't an option that they would go with somebody else this year. As it turns out, I talked to the folks in charge earlier today. As it turned out, like, they hired a company that has a bunch of camera people and a photography drone pilot that also does FPV, so I'm sure he's flying in Nevada too, right? And they had like contracts with these people to, apparently it sounded like, not hire anybody else. And it was that they're like, we loved your work, we're just tied in with this group. And so I said, "Look, why don't I, like, when I talked to him previously, I said, like, last year I volunteered and it was great. Like, I thought that he maybe understood that I would be willing to, I just wanted to do it." I basically said, "Look, I'm willing to, if you give me permission to come fly the event this year, I will come fly it, period. Like, end of conversation." Afterwards, and this is where I got a little creative, and it has me kind of rethinking things, to be honest, because it works. I said, "Look, after the event, I will generate low-res versions of all my flight footage and send it to you, and if you like any of it, we can handle this on, like, the other side of the way I specs things out, which is the stock footage rates. And if you want to buy one file, great, there's a cost with that. If you want to buy a whole bunch of files, I don't, like, max you out. I'm not going to charge you a ton of money if you want all the flight footage." And the guy was like, "Oh my God, that's great. I love that. Let's do it." He was just like instantly on board. And the way that I priced it with him is basically like, if he buys more than like a few of the files, which I'm pretty sure he will, I will make what I had quoted them. And if he buys all the footage, I'll make significantly more than what I quoted them to come and just fly it and just dump all the footage on them. So I'm going to be offering that to, like, everyone, I think, moving forward. Basically, like, to buy one of the files is what I would normally charge to come out and fly for an hour. So, like, there's no reason not to do this, essentially. And then as they buy more files, I'm going to bring the per file price down. But yeah, I'd always kind of like kicked around the idea of offering that to people that don't have the money to, pay for like the first hour and or are curious about like what FPV is. Every single gig that I've flown over the past, I guess I've been flying gigs for a little over 3 years, maybe. Every single gig that I've flown, the feedback is, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is amazing." Like, most people just don't know what you can do with FPV. It's not like, I'm a decent pilot. This is not me saying like, I'm the greatest pilot in the world. It's just that, like, what we can do with a camera is insane. Like, it's just ridiculous. And, I fly very safe, so I'm not hitting people. I'm not smashing, like, and so, like, when I'm on site, there's no, like, "Oh my God, this guy is awful." I schmooze a little bit. Like, I'm not obnoxious, but I also, like, make people laugh and smile and stuff. And so, like, it's, yeah, like, once I work with somebody, I tend to work with them again. That I haven't made a website. I haven't even made a reel. Wow. Instagram has stolen the word reel, and now I only associate reel with Instagram. I don't associate reels with what you do with all of your flight footage to get, normally most people do, to get people to hire you. I haven't done those things because, like I said, when I've worked with people, they've then brought me back for a second, a third, a fourth gig. That has started to diminish. This year's been a little bit slow. What's been interesting is I've been getting higher paying gigs, but less of them, which I'm totally okay with. Like, I kind of prefer that, but it's to a point, so I'm not necessarily like making, I am making a little bit less. I am making less, it looks like, this year than last year and the year before. There was like a massive boom with like FPV footage 2 years ago. It was new, it was hot. But yeah, I need to, like I said, it has backed off a little bit, so I need to, I need to make a reel. And I need to have a website. It's starting to look like, which is fine. This is just, you know, my kick in the ass to do that, which is a good thing. But yeah, there you go. I'm flying Pride this weekend, and I'm super, super, super excited. It's really bothering me that the stream is stuttering this bad. It is not usually like this. What is running that's eating the computer? I'm just gonna start quitting everything that I don't need. So there goes Discord. If you're messaging me on Discord, you're shit out of luck. There goes messages. Oh, I kind of need to leave email opened. Google Chrome just bombed. What happened there? Hold on. Well, I lost the chat anyway, so I'm going to force quit Google Chrome, and then I'll relaunch it. And that'll probably help, because I always have way too many tabs opened. Why is numbers running? What is all this stuff that's running? OBS Studio, I need that. Logitech G Hub, need that. AOS Webcam Utility, need that. Okay. All right, so now I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it was Google being insane. Let me relaunch Google and get the chat back up. So yeah, super excited. Today was a really good day. And just seeing a client turn on a dime like that, when I offered to come out and fly for free, it's a little, you know, it's funny. Like I explained it to Maggie, and she's like, "Are you gonna be okay if they don't buy any of your footage?" And I was like, as you know, and they might not. But what I realized is that I was most bummed that I wasn't gonna get to fly Pride. Like, the money be damned, like, money's great and all, right? But like, money be damned, the experience of, even deeper than that, just going and standing behind the guardrails is a completely different experience than going and flying it. Like, what we do, regardless of whether we're being paid for it or not, is like so magical that, you know what I mean? And that's really, like, that was the thing that was bumming me out the most. And that's like, that's nuts. I mean, like, I guess that's kind of obvious, right? Like, we know that what we do is that insane, but like, really think about that, right? Like, that's pretty wild. And so yeah, this whole thing has been, it's been an emotional roller coaster, friends. But you know, all is well that ends well. I guess, like, stick with it. Don't just give up. Like, when I found out that they went with somebody else, you know, all that shit with man brain happened of like, well, fuck them forever. You know, like, and then, like, of course, there was like well, forget it. I give up. I'm just gonna delete everything and never talk to this guy again or whatever. And that is seldom the way to go, you know? So if you really, yeah, stick with it. Persevere. And good things can happen. Don't give up. Never give up, friends. God, I wish I could play fucking Clam Man. Good, sir. Here, I'll do it for you. If you ever need cheering up, here you go. I wonder if it'll come up. It doesn't quite come up. Oh shit, there he is. Here you go. Copy link address. I can't play this anymore because it's you get copyright dinged. But here you go, friends. Open this in open that in a separate tab, and then it'll be as if I played it for you. So I lost all of the chat before Joshua's extremely generous super chat. So if you tagged me before that, do me a favor, tag me again and ask the question, say whatever you said, because I hate missing when you guys talk to me. CMYK tagged me and said, yo, Whizbang says babyface insurance. What's that mean? Denzel the Terrible says it does get choppy. Good. Not good, but we fixed it. Nate Adams says, is there a difference between the PP and PG Newbie Drew and Cockroach frames beyond the flexibility? Yeah, they're totally different materials. This might be stating the obvious, but they're different materials. PP for polypropylene. I don't think it's PG, is it? It's polypropylene and PC, polycarbonate. The one is much lighter weight. Oh god, I forget which one. I think the weights are on there. I think on Newbie Drone's website the weights are there. The lighter weight one is plenty durable. The heavier one is more durable, but you don't need that extra. It's not worth the extra weight for that extra durability. The lighter weight one is one of the most durable Cinewhoop frames I've ever run, and I get hundreds and hundreds of batteries out of them before they let go. I don't necessarily even know if I've broken one yet. Surely I have. I've almost certainly broken at least one of them. But yeah, they're very durable. In my experience and opinion, they are the best of the Cinewhoop frames that are currently available. They use really short little screws, which make them super lightweight. And so they're one of the lightest once it's fully built. And then the thing I really love about them is that if you're running Happy Model motors, which you should be, because the Happy Model 702s are just the god motors. The Happy Model motors are a little bit shorter, top to bottom, than most motors. And on most of the other frames, the propeller is below the duct. And so when you crash, the duct pushes in, and then the propeller slams into whatever you're crashing into. And what happens is it stalls the motor out. And once that motor has stalled, now you're crashing regardless of what happens. With the Newbie Drone frames, they've moved the duct down a little bit, so it's perfectly in line with the props. And sometimes when you bump into stuff, the propeller will just scrape against the duct, and you'll keep going, and you'll bounce off of it and fly away. And so I literally, it's noticeable. I literally crash less, fall out of the sky less when I run the Cockroach V3 frames with Happy Model motors. If you're running VCI or Betaflight motors, they are taller, and on like most of the other frames, such as the Meteor 65 Air, the prop is just barely in line with the duct, and you'll get sort of that same experience. So yeah, that's something to look out for. It's easy to tell. You just hold the rig up like this and look where the propeller sits, and you'll see if it's in line with the prop guard / duct, or if it's not. I don't know if I have any. I can't show you because I've changed over. I've changed everything over. So yeah, like if I have a rig that's on Betaflight motors, it's also on the Meteor 65 frame. If I have a rig on Happy Model motors, it's on the Cockroach V3 frame. So there you go. Great question, brother. CMYKFPV says, seems to be cleaned up now. Awesome. Levster says it got better now. Awesome. Malo FPV says, what patch antenna should I buy for the Walksnail Goggle V1? I like True RC, but I don't want to break the bank. Is there something with similar performance like True RC? So, wait, you like True RC? Wait, what? Here's what I'll say. I've never seen patch antennas. I've never seen a test comparing patch antennas. I've seen a number of tests comparing Omnis, but I cannot remember in over 8 years of being into FPV seeing anyone test a True RC patch antenna versus a Newbie Drone patch antenna versus a put any name here patch antenna. So I have no idea. I there's no way for me to like answer that with any actual facts behind it. You know what I mean? What I can tell you is that True RC's antennas are phenomenal, and the price of antennas is like, I don't think you're gonna find a patch antenna that there's enough of a price differential between that and a True RC patch to really justify it, especially because patch antennas are on your goggles and you're never going to break them, right? Like with quad mounted antennas, if you fly hard, you are going to break a ton of those. And so it does make sense to look for cheaper antennas sometimes that you're going to put on a 5-inch rig. But like with your goggle antennas, like maybe you'll break one someday, like if you smash your head into a wall or something like that, right? But like it's just not going to happen often. So yeah, in my opinion, spend the extra money, get a True RC patch antenna, and then you don't have to wonder, right? Like if you buy that cheaper patch antenna, there's going to be a point where you're like, when you lose a quad, you're going to be like, shit, man, did I just lose that quad because I saved $10 on my antenna? Don't do that to yourself. For me, with stuff in FPV that doesn't get demolished all the time, I'm totally willing to spend extra money and get like the best of the best, or at least close to the best of the best. Because like the whole rest of the hobby is just destroying stuff all the time, you know what I mean? So like take advantage of the few things in the hobby that we don't absolutely annihilate constantly, and treat yourself, friend. Treat yourself, Malo. Get you some good True RC antennas. They're not going to break. They're going to last forever. And then, hey, think of it this way too. When you go to sell that antenna, you'll be able to charge more for it. So the extra money that you paid, right, you'll kind of sort of get it back. Whizbang says, mailbag stole from you. What? What did the mailbag steal from me? Oh, speaking of mailbag, what a segue. Thank you, dude. I talked to, on yesterday's live stream, I talked about how I was very appreciative that Ray sent me another one of his FPV guides. This is right there, it says revised. This is a revised version of his episode 1. Or edition 1. He's got 4 of these now. These are awesome, guys. These are filled with technical drawings of lots and lots and lots of different FPV products, and like just good info about them. Wiring diagrams, just like the specs on the products. These are going to be gold as more and more... So in FPV, if you're new around here, every 6 months or so, most manufacturers discontinue everything. And they don't like schedule this out, but like each different product in FPV has about a 6-month lifespan, sometimes longer, but 6 or so months, that product is now worthless in their eyes, and they make a new one that's different colors and definitely better. Sometimes they're actually worse. And so what happens when you're an old head like me is you have flight controllers, for example, that are like 5-6 years old that are totally fine. F4, some of them are F7. Like maybe they have one less UART than the current, brand new stuff, but typically not. Most of them have MPU 6000 gyros, which are, in my opinion, the best gyro that we've ever had. So in some cases, this gear is better than what we can get today. But the gear is so old, and there have been so many revisions on top of that product, that the wiring diagrams are gone from the internet. And so these are going to be absolute gold. So like it is so cool that Ray is making these. His website is fpv-guidebook.com. These are great. And so I talked to him today. I said, yo, man, what is revised? What have you revised on this one? Are the technical drawings better? Were there some errors in the original one? And he basically said that when he made this first one, he didn't have like the process that he has in place now to like double check and triple check with the manufacturers that all of the specs and all of the wiring diagrams and everything is absolutely dead on the money. And there were a couple of things in the original one that were not exactly right. And so he revised them, and now this is the revised version of it. He said it wasn't much. He said it was just a couple of things. And so, like, his stock ran out, I'm assuming. And so when he ordered new stock, he figured, what the hell, go back and revise it. Amazing that he had that on his radar, and he even cared to go and do that, right? Put a bunch more work into it. So yeah, shout out to Ray. These are awesome. Really cool, like coffee table books. The graphic design in here is awesome. The technical drawings are just super cool looking. Yeah, really, really, really cool series of books. And our very own CMYK is actually working with Ray now to do some of the graphic design. So when you support Ray by buying this, you're also supporting CMYK FPV. Speaking of, if you ever need graphic design done and you go to anyone other than CMYK, I will hunt you down. Watch me. You think I won't? Watch. Do it and watch me. Don't go to sleep. I'll be there. The second you go to sleep, I'll hunt you down. So yeah, he's an incredible graphic designer, incredible human being. Hook a brother up. Metal Dirtskin says, Clanman is bookmarked on my toolbar forever. Hell yeah. Render says, do you know if the Betaflight devs will continue to support F4 for a long time? I sure hope so. It certainly feels to me, Brandon, if you're still in here, back me up on this. It feels to me like in one of the more current versions of Betaflight, the little thing when you go to Flash where you can remove certain features that you're never going to use, it feels like that is the Betaflight devs making it forward compatible, I don't know, making it able to be used on F4s for a long time. I have no idea. Brandon's Baked Beans is the closest person in my universe to any of the Betaflight devs. I try not to dive too deep into the super technical part of Betaflight because it fascinates me, and when I've done that in the past, I've stopped flying, and like I've always tried for the flying to be like top of my priority list, and so yeah, I don't dive super deep into that stuff, so I'm just not totally dialed in with the devs and whatnot, but it certainly feels that way. I mean, like, you look at like Cinewhoop boards, right? And like HD0 just came out with an incredible Cinewhoop board that has an F4 processor, right? It's like the newest Cinewhoop board we've got, and it's still F4. So I'm sure that it's on the devs' radar of like, look, F4 is kind of here to stay. We need to make Betaflight work with it for the foreseeable future. So yeah, that's the best answer I can give. Dave T says, if you saw my super chat in JB's stream, what size capacitor for the Mobile 6? I didn't, but you should not be using a capacitor on a Mobile 6. Cinewhoops, there's no good way to package a capacitor. That's a word in the. I'm just realizing that word is annoying corporate jargon, which I hate so much. It's a word used in the car world for like where you put shit. Yeah, Cinewhoops do not have a good spot for a capacitor, and a half decent Cinewhoop AIO does not need a capacitor. So, yeah, don't run a capacitor on a Cinewhoop. If for some reason you have to, there's something else going on. You shouldn't need to. The problem lies elsewhere. If you're still going to do it, the smallest one you can possibly find, because it's going to be a nightmare to fit the damn thing in there. So get a really small one, like 100 UF or less would be off the top of my head. But yeah, you should not have to run one. There is no world where a half decent tiny, like, so the Happy Model Diamond AIO, for example, right? To make that thing small, they removed a lot of capacitors, and it's a super electrically noisy AIO. One of the ways that I figured that out is by just like ramming a capacitor into the damn thing. It was like hanging off the side. It was a mess, but all of a sudden it got a lot better, and that's how I figured out that they removed too much capacitance from it. In that scenario, throw that AIO in the river and get a 2G4. Get like any of the other AIOs that actually do work. Is going to be my opinion. With Cinewhoops, you're crashing a lot, so like having a capacitor hanging off of it, you're going to run into issues with it like breaking off all the time. When it breaks off, bad things can happen. So yeah, my real answer is to not run one. But if you have to run one, tiny. King Dingaling says, I need a frame for my spare parts build. Walksnail, iFlight Blitz 55 AIO, Zing 2205 2300s, 4S 1500. What are two frames you suggested for that combo? With a 2205, I'm going to make an assumption that you want to build a 5-inch rig. If it were me, I mean, that's a pretty small motor, so you're going to want a really lightweight frame. If it were me, and I'm biased because I like all my builds are glides, I would do a 5-inch glide frame. It's a super lightweight, relatively strong, especially if you build it out lightweight like that. Frame, it's my favorite 5-inch frame of all time. So yeah, I would go with that. My other frame recommendation would maybe be like a 4-inch frame, I guess. I mean, it depends. I don't know what you're looking for. You didn't mention it, but yeah, maybe look at a 4-inch frame. That's another way to keep the weight down. A 2205 motor is going to be like a big 4-inch motor. So yeah, there you go. Danzel the Terrible says, unless you're doing long range, you probably don't need a patch. Maybe an unpopular opinion. That's a really good point. I run patches on pretty much everything because they're even with like straight up freestyle, so especially with a 5-inch freestyle rig, right? You can put those a mile out easy all day long. Even the most aggressive bando bashing 5-inch rig, if you fly that thing with low throttle values like you would if you're going to fly a mile out, it'll run like a 5-inch rig will run for like 6, 7, 8 minutes. Like a 5-inch rig that you get 3 minutes out of, like hammering on it freestyle, cruising or long range-ish flying, you'll get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes out of it. It is unbelievable how much runtime you get when you don't use full throttle, right? And like eventually there'll be a situation where when you have your rigs, there's a reason to go really far away, even with 3-inch rigs, and having a patch on your goggles in that moment is so cool because you just like when the video starts to go, you just move your head around a little bit until you get the patch pointed perfectly, and now all your video comes back. There's also very little benefit from running 2 omnis, so that's the other big part of it, is like having that second omni just doesn't really do much, so you might as well throw a patch on there. It does a little bit, especially with sync pulse reconstruction modules like rapid fire, but yeah, the freedom of having a patch all the time and just like, yeah, like you're flying around and like your buddy drives by and he drives down a straight road. It's just super cool to chase your buddy for a half a mile and just have that patch there, right? Like there are situations that will happen where it's really nice to have a patch, or even like if you're in a bando and you start to lose signal and it starts to get really bad, you can move your head around and the patch might pick up that tiny little bit of signal that's bounced 14 times nice and clear, and then you get your video back. So yeah, to me, in my experience, and I've tried it both ways. I've run 2 omnis. I've run omni and patch. I've just had a better experience having that patch antenna there. It's not all the time, for sure. It's definitely not all the time that it'll happen, but there are situations where when the video gets, you also kind of have to train yourself that when the video gets bad, move your head around and just think about where the quad is. If you're like hard on the right side of you and the video starts to get bad, there should be like an instant kind of reaction to turn your head that way. What's nice is you have ears and you can hear where the quad is, right? So if you hear it off to your right, you should, and it's actually a really good habit to get in, like full stop, just all the time. When you hear your quad to the right, turn your head to the right. When you hear your quad to the left, turn your head to the left. That's like a really good practice to get in. So, yeah, there you go. Metadurtsian says, I still have that helical antenna I won in a CiottiFPV giveaway. Who made that thing? I think Tuner Taxi did. Don't quote me on that, but I believe Tuner Taxi made that. Render says, cloud builds? What's that mean? Cloud builds. I legitimately don't know what that means. Tell me more. Tag me again and tell me more. Nate Adams says, thank you. I just broke my third Weebleed crown frame, and I'm swapping over to the Cockroach V3. I assume it'll work with the Screamer 0702s and Gemfan biblades. It'll actually work better because the Screamer 0702s are made by Happy Model. So those are motors. Your entire experience so far has been what I've explained, where the duct is up here and the tips of your propeller blade are down here. So with the Cockroach V3 frame, you will do this, and you should notice that you're falling out of the sky less often. Like you'll just bump into something and you'll be like, whoa, how did that happen? Like that was my experience moving to the Cockroach V3 frame was just like, oh my god, I can actually bump into things. And then like as it kind of happened during these streams, as we worked through it and thought about it more, I kind of realized what was happening. Brandon's Baked Beans says, we don't have enough flash space on some targets for the full build. In reference to what we were talking. Oh, yeah. Brandon specifically says it's for future proofing. I thought so. Awesome. Yeah. In reference to being able to remove certain elements from Betaflight when you install flight firmware. But, oh, right. Brandon also then says, we don't have enough flash space on some targets for the full build. Okay, so it's not necessarily F4 versus F7 related. Okay, interesting. Butterton says F411 versus F722 have only 512K of flash. Metal is saying something similar. F405, F745, others have 1 megabyte, hence the thing to remove features from the build. Very cool. I totally forgot about that. Thank you, guys. YouTube just did the thing again. Scrolling back up. Hey, good to go. Lewis... All right, hold on. I'm going to figure it out. 15, 60, 70. Lewis the 18th says, have you ever tried wings or planes? I kind of want to try flying for like 30 minutes. Seems fun. Flying for 30 minutes seems exhausting to me. But I fly like my pants are literally on fire. I have not. I have... When I'm out chasing wings or somebody else just has one... there's like I'll kind of look at it and be like a little bit interested, but then like I'll see them launch it and I'll be like, that seems insane. And then like I'll see them land it, I'm like, that seems insane. And then like I'll see them getting thrown around by the wind and I'm like, that seems obnoxious. And then I see them trying to like fit it in their car and I'm like, that seems stupid. And then that glimmer of interest is long gone. Yeah, it just seems obnoxious to like have to. They're all big. Like, where are you gonna put them? And I don't know. I love the thing that interests me most is being able to cruise at like 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. Like, that's cool. But where I live here in Atlanta, there's it's not true. There are mountains pretty close to me. It would be kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know. FPV is plenty, I think, is the main thing for me. And like if I'm gonna fly in the mountains, I want it to be cinematic footage, right? That's kind of the other thing. Getting cinematic footage out of a wing is outrageously difficult. Yes, I know that Shelby Vole has been able to do it. And maybe one or two other guys, but like I ain't one or two of those guys. You know, those are the best wing pilots on the planet. It would take me many, many, many years to get there, and yeah. So FPV is just kind of like way more versatile for me, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday, but I'm still so like interested in and like enthralled and in love with FPV that like I don't really need to dilute that with something that's like sort of so close. I did realize a little bit ago that I needed another hobby, right? Like my first 5 years of FPV, it was a hobby, and then I had a job outside of that. Once FPV became my full-time job, I didn't really have a hobby for a little while. And I realized that that was going to lead to burnout for sure. And so I dove into sim racing a little bit. And lately I've been kind of diving into couples dancing with Maggie, specifically like West Coast Swing. And boy, does that help. It is really, really, really nice to have, for me, something else to obsess over. Wings are so close to FPV that they wouldn't be that. They wouldn't be a hobby for me. They would be, like a part of the FPV experience, and so yeah, it wouldn't necessarily work as a hobby for me. I don't think. I could be wrong, but it's funny. The early day, like before I actually got into FPV, I watched tons of flight tests, and I very well could have gotten into wings instead of drones, but somebody sent me a drone and it started me down this path. But yeah, there you go. Nate Adams got bit by the wing bug. The Flick Wing from Flight Test is a small park cruising wing that's under 250 grams. I've seen a whole bunch of smaller wings that look really, really cool. But yeah, not interesting enough for me. King Dingaling says, I've got my first 5-inch almost airborne. What do you think? What do you like in the 3 to 4 inch range? That's a little open-ended of a question. It sounds like you're asking about bind and flies. I am not the guy to ask about bind and flies. If you're talking about frames, my current favorite micro frame is the Quadmula Siren, either the split or the regular one. They're both awesome. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. 4-inch doesn't really have a home still. There's not really, I guess maybe the Insta360 Go 3, but don't buy the 3, buy the 2. It's pretty much the same thing, and it's a lot lighter, and it'll work on a 3-inch or a 3.5-inch rig. There's not really a camera. What I was about to say is there's not really a camera. The camera is the payload, right? It's the thing that's not doing any work on the quad. There's not a payload that makes sense for a 4-inch build. This is why 4-inch rigs have always kind of been like the bastard children of FPV. You could make an argument like for long range stuff, but that's a specific thing. And so, yeah, 4-inch doesn't get much love. And I have no idea. I have no idea what like the hot 4-inch frame is out there. It's probably a 3-inch frame where they also make 4-inch arms. But yeah, 3 inches is the way to go, or 3.5 if you're up at like 300 grams to 350 grams or so. Render says, Go 3 has 4K like mine, not as nice as GoPro, but 37 grams. I didn't think that it had 4K. I thought it was 2.7. I remember when the Go 3 came out, I was super excited, and I looked at the specs and compared them to the Go 2, and the video resolution was exactly the same as the Go 2. And then I saw that it was 11 grams heavier, and I was like, no. And it's like $100 more. I was just like, nope. And actually, yesterday and Friday, I flew my Go 2 on professional gigs, and I have in the past with this client, and they absolutely love the footage that comes out of this for Instagram. And so yeah, the Go 2 is still a phenomenal camera. Render says Go 3S. Oh my god, I didn't even know that was a thing. So there's a Go 3S apparently that has 4K. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna say that I think you should still get the Go 2, because 11 grams is a lot, and the Go 2 works on the Tiny Lifter, which is a 75mm 2S rig that you can fly absolutely everywhere and anywhere. Yesterday I was flying it around thousands of people, like weaving in and out thousands of people at this car show. And Friday I was whizzing it past customers and flying in and out of exotics at this place's dealership. It's and once you get up to 37 grams, it's going to have to be a 2-inch rig, and that's like a whole sort of different thing. The not only are you going to gain 11 grams from the camera, you're going to gain probably at least 20, maybe 30 extra grams with bigger motors, bigger frame, bigger props, bigger battery. And so, yeah, to me, for a camera that is really kind of specifically going to be for Instagram, in my world at least, right? Like for somebody not doing professional work, it's potentially a little bit different. Although, if you're not doing professional work, what do you care if it's 2.7 or 4K, right? You're the only one that's going to watch it. Maybe you'll force your significant other to watch it, but they're not going to care. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation, but the weight of the Go 2 to me is as heavy as I think that I can't rationalize going any heavier than this without going all the way up to a GoPro or an Action 5 or the Ace or whatever. And I know that is a hell of a gap to cover, but like I don't know if the Go 3S is going to be good enough. Like 4K is great, but there is a massive difference between the 4K image that you're going to get out of that Go 3 and like a proper action camera, like a GoPro Hero. One of the things that camera manufacturers do is they really try for all the specs and all the numbers to be as high as possible, right? So like, even if your sensor is garbage and the image coming out of it looks horrible, if you can manage to get that number of pixels on there and put in the specs that it's 4K, shitloads of people are going to buy it. And most of those people don't know shit about shit, so they're not going to know that the image looks like ass. They're just going to tell all their stupid friends that it's 4K, and their friends are going to go, oh, wow! So, yeah, there's that. And, like, with these tiny little super lightweight cameras, the point, to me at least, is to be unbelievably lightweight. And when it comes to like what for us, right, what we can lift these up with, boy does the game change over the weight of this. Like once you get over 25 grams, like Cinewhoops are kind of out the window. And here's the other big thing. The tiny lift, for those of you that don't know, this is the tiny lifter. This is a build that I went really hard on figuring out a couple of years ago, and did tons of live streams about this and tons of work to figure out how light can we carry one of these. And initially it was the Insta360 Go 1, which was 19 grams, and then the 2 was 26 grams. How small can we go? How light can we go? How safe can we go and still pick one of these things up? This is 2S on 1002s, 14,000 kV. This is absolutely as big as I can possibly justify flying. Super close to people. And really what I'm saying here is hitting people, hitting strangers. This is, I'm absolutely unwilling to hit someone with something bigger than this. And like, that's kind of magic. Like flying something that it really doesn't matter if you hit someone because you're not worried about it literally ripping the hair out of their scalp and or like sending them to the hospital or like, you know, all the bad things that can come from us hitting people. That's awesome. And you even get to see it in the reactions of the people that you're flying around. I put 4 batteries maybe through this yesterday at a car show, weaving in and out of people, bouncing it off of people, crashing it on the ground. Like people would pick it up for me and like hold it back up so I could take it back off. They're laughing. Like tons of people are coming over and like, oh my God, that thing is insane. Like it was wild. And every time I fly this, which is criminally not enough, I need to fly these more. People just, it's funny to them. It's hysterical to them. Going up to like a 2-inch build, to me, in my opinion, it's beyond that level. You are now flying a full-size Cinewhoop where, like, yes, it's safe, and like if something bad happens and you hit someone, they're probably not going to go to the hospital, but they might. And still, like, the reaction that you're going to get is not going to be a favorable reaction. It's going to be the reaction that we get flying everything else, which is, I hate you and you're an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, that whole thing. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I wish that there were more cameras that were this small, but man, are we a small audience. And you know, like, just sticking this to, like, what most people do with these Insta360 Goes is stick them to helmets, put them on their hat, put them on the magnet thing here, and that the weight does not matter to those people. So yeah, there you go. There's a long answer to a short question. The Go 3S makes total sense. There was just a phenomenal video of JWW, which is one of the car based YouTube personalities, going for a ride in a McLaren P1 with Bruno Senna driving, and Bruno Senna had an Insta360 Go. Really, it was. Hold on. I know we got a lot to do, but sorry, I gotta nerd out for a moment on car stuff, because cars are my passion for much longer than FPV. He had a Go 3 right up here, right on the top of the visor. Kind of annoying because you can't put the visor down, but you typically don't need to put the visor down. And the perspective that you get from here is awesome. Like, there are lots of GoPro mounts to put GoPro heroes here, but like, that's where your mouth is, sort of your chin, and that sits a little bit too low in the car, and you get a lot of gauges and not a lot of view out the window. And the image quality I was actually really surprised by it, and I was really interested as to what it was. Well, it was like a black Insta360 Go, and I'm assuming that the 3S is black. And so yeah, that's actually super cool. That must be what he had mounted up there. And I knew that it was an Insta360, and I was like, man, the quality of the 3 is actually really decent. And so yeah, if you have any interest in cars whatsoever, and I mean, I guess if you have interest in motorsports specifically, go watch that video. I don't know if I've ever seen a McLaren P1 being driven by a really, really, really fast driver before. It is something else entirely. Bruno Senna is quite the wheelman, and that car is quite the thing. So yeah, go check that out if you're interested in motorsports. It's a hell of a watch. I don't usually watch videos all the way to the end. I watched that all the way to the end. I don't love JWW either. But that video was not about him. That video was about Bruno Senna and the McLaren P1. So yeah, go check that out. It'll blow your tits off. Before I forget, we're coming up to giveaway time. We're gonna do giveaways in a minute, I promise. I've got 2 X12 builds now that we're gonna be checking out on Whoop Wednesday. One of them on the VCI 0802.8 27,000s, one on the RC and Power 0703 27,000s. I am so excited. I just finished these up before the live stream. I haven't gotten to fly them yet. I'm so fucking excited to get these 2 in the air. So I think that's what Wednesday is going to be, is basically like a smackdown test between these 2 motors, trying to kind of find the ultimate 75mm analog motor, really. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll leave them there. All right, I'm going to get caught up on chat because I need to be caught up on chat before the giveaways start. So hold off from tagging me, because we'll do the giveaways. That'll bring us to like 11:30 or so, and then we can jump back into chat and questions or whatnot. So don't tag me for a couple minutes. Let me get caught up. Curtis Hayes says, opinions on the Weebleed WBFPV is the first to introduce. Oh. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, wait, what? Simple improvement helps decrease 802 25,000. No, they're set. Do they have another one now? So Weebleed just put up 0702 32,500 kV motors with 1.5 millimeter shafts. And that is like kind of god motor territory. If in terms of like, if you can only have one motor for a 65 millimeter analog Cinewhoop forever, what should it be? At the moment, it's that. It's not too high of a kV. It's not too low of a kV. The 1.5 millimeter shaft is basically going to make it bulletproof. The only issue with it is there are not a lot of 1.5 millimeter whole 1.2 inch props available, but Weebleed also does now have the Gemfan 1210 biblades, which is one of the 3 ultra good 65 millimeter Cinewhoop propellers. So that combo is going to be awesome. I do certainly hope that in the future we get the HQ ultralight 1.2 inch prop in a 1.5 millimeter version and the Gemfan 1219S. Those are the other 2 like brilliant Cinewhoop props at the moment. But yeah, that motor with the 1210 biblades is going to be an awesome combination, and that is going to be a 65 mil rig that you can beat the balls off, and the frame is gonna become the weak point. The frame, like the camera, that kind of stuff. The motor, at the moment with 1 millimeter motor shafts, the motors always break first. And so going to a 1.5 is gonna take that, first thing that breaks out of the equation. And now we're gonna see what else breaks. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. It sounds from Curtis's comment though that there's an 802 now. This is what I'm super excited about, for the record. This is what's making me extra excited. I'll be damned. Yeah, look at that. 802 25,000. I wish it was an 802 27,000 is all that I'll say. Because I'm a power hungry lunatic. But 802 25,000 for most people on a 75 millimeter rig is going to be plenty of power. So yeah, this is great. Cinewhoop also has 1.5 millimeter shaft 802 25,000s, and they have 802 27,000s. So yeah, for me, I'll stick with the iGao 802 27,000s, but they might not be in stock right now. So in terms of like building a 75 or rocking 75 millimeter analog rig, yeah, this is a great motor option. Very cool. The more 1.5 millimeter motor shaft motors, the better. Get this, down below the bell, all of these Cinewhoop motors, well, not all of them, that all of the Happy model motors, Cinewhoop motors, are a 1.5 millimeter shaft. Why didn't they just go to 1.5 mil up above the bell a long time ago? We wouldn't have any of these shaft bending woes. Now this is sounding like a different kind of live stream. Nate Adams says Go 3 is 2.7K, Go 3S has 4K, and oh, it's slightly heavier. Interesting. For FPV, it's the Go 2. For helmet mounting, Go 3S. Render says, I agree. I wish I'd gotten the Go 2 for those exact reasons. You should still be able to get them. Last I checked, you could still get the Go 2. Insta360 Go 2. Not bitrate. I did just look up the bitrate the other day. Yeah, look, AliExpress. Don't order it from AliExpress. Amazon. Still on Amazon. There you go. In stock, ready to ship. If you get one from Amazon, do me a favor. Go over to CiottiFPV.com and use my affiliate link. Look at all these affiliate links, my friends. I didn't really shill all that hard today, but here's how you support me, man. CiottiFPV.com and just start clicking buttons. Patreon helps me the most. Etsy's got a ton of really cool stuff. Fiverr, you can work one-on-one with me, take advantage of over 8 years of knowledge. Teespring's got some fun shirts and other random apparel. PayPal, if you want to support me, but you don't want to do a super chat because you know that you know that Google and YouTube take 30%. If you do PayPal me, though, tag me in the chat and say, yo, Ciotti, I just PayPal'd you because you deserve a shout out for supporting me. And then look at all these affiliate links. There's absolutely no reason to not use an affiliate link from someone that makes content on YouTube on most of your orders that you place on the internet. Almost all websites have an affiliate program. So like somebody that you watch on YouTube has an affiliate link and you can make that person a couple of bucks by just changing your bookmark over to it. That's the easiest thing to do. Grab the affiliate links from the people that you love the most, change your bookmarks to their affiliate links, and now you don't have to think about it. You just hit your bookmark, that person's info goes into your shopping cart. When you check out, a small percentage of your total shopping cart goes to that person as a thank you. And there you go. You just supported a bunch of people without even thinking about it. If you don't use bookmarks like me and you just go up top here and you type in like AMA when you go to Amazon, do that. Type in AMA. It'll suggest the most visited Amazon link. So it'll be like a 55-gallon lube for some of you degenerates. Off on the right side of that suggestion, there's going to be a button or like an X or something that says like remove suggestion. Maybe you have to right click it. There's a way of doing it. Remove your current suggestions for these websites when you type the first couple of letters, and then just like hit somebody's affiliate links a couple times in a row, and that'll tell your browser like, hey, when I type BET for Beta FPV, I want to go to Ciotti's Beta FPV affiliate link. And that's another way that you can support people without having to remember every single time you get excited and order something on the internet to use someone's affiliate links. There you go, friends. I have affiliate links for Amazon, Get FPV, Pyro Drone, Race Day Quads, Newbie Drone, We Bleed FPV, Beta FPV, FPV Cycle, Oh My God, Brain 3D, HC0, Flywoo, Emacs, Banggood, Camera Butter, and AliExpress. There you go. That's how you support me. Thank you, friends. You do a great job of it. You're the only reason I can do this full time, and it's super cool. And we've done great work together. You know, we've figured out some amazing builds. We've had a ton of hysterical times hanging out. Let's keep going. You know, I'll do this for as long as you guys continue to support me. This is a dream gig for somebody with the crushing cocktail of mental illness issues that I've got. So yeah, for all of you that have been supporters, thank you so much. Let's keep it going, my friends. Porky Job FV says, where do you grab the go-to canopy from? I need that in my life. Gotta go to, planning on a 3.5 build for it right now, but that's even better. If you're talking about the tiny lifter, this is actually on Newbie. No, wait, it's not. The Go 1 version of this is on Newbie Drone's website. The Go 2 version of this is on Thingiverse. Oh man, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since anyone asked me that. I want to say it's on Thingiverse. Yeah, good. Sometimes I remember things, and boy, does it feel good. As a 43-year-old person, I am starting to forget shit, and it is infuriating. I've definitely noticed my brain turning to absolute mush in my 40s. There you go. There it is, my friends. There's a couple different versions of it for where the camera sits. Print all the different versions and just try them out. It moves the camera forward and back. The farther forward you move the camera, the less duct you get in view every once in a while. But the worse your balance is. With the tiny lifter, one of the hardest things to do was getting it to not overload the front motors. And so the exact position of the heavy ass camera is really important. And so as you move it farther forward, the flight performance gets worse. So you want to pull it as far back as you can, depending upon how much duct is in view. If you fly really fast all the time, it's not much of an issue because this is like your field of view. And so if you're flying fast, it's going to be up here. when you slow down and you fly it really slow, that's when the ducts can come into view on the bottom. So yeah, print them all and test them out. It's a very cool setup. The go-to will, like, when you crash it, the go-to will almost never pop all the way out, but it will get like jarred. So basically when you crash this, turtle mode it back over and come back to yourself, because you're going to have to fix the camera. I have never had it fall completely out, other than when I've crashed it and then keep flying and then crash it again. That's when it falls all the way out. So every time you crash it, come back home, fix it, at least check it, and then fly it back out. It's a really cool little setup. It doesn't fly great, admittedly. I call it the tiny lifter because it flies like a lifter, in that, like, the camera is kind of way too heavy for what it is, but I still get like 3 minutes of runtime from two 300 mAh batteries that I have wired in parallel series. I always get them confused. They're wired up to be a 2S, to be one 2S battery. It's a hell of a little build. If you search my channel for Tiny Lifter, there's a ton of live streams with flight footage and all kinds of other stuff. If you didn't know, when you go to someone's channel here on YouTube, there's a tiny little magnifying glass right here. If you click that, you can search on only that person's channel. So you search for Tiny Lifter, and it's going to find a ton of really cool stuff. If you really want to see the magic of the Tiny Lifter, this is the video for you. I'm going to put the link in the chat. This is what the Tiny Lifter can do that pretty much nothing else can, just because it's so goddamn small. This was just super, super, super cool. But yeah, the whole development of the Tiny Lifter and like testing all kinds of different motors and frames and all kinds of shit is all chronicled here on the live stream. On previous live streams, I should say. C. Joe says, you're a car guy too. I'm currently restoring a 67 Bentley T1. Oh my god. Did you sit down one day and you were like, what's the most expensive, most ridiculous car I could possibly restore? Oh, I know. A 67 Bentley. That's insane, dude. Good for you. We need more people like you willing to restore outrageous cars like that to make sure that they live forever. I'm not really a work on cars kind of guy. I'll do it when I have to save money. But I much prefer driving them. I was an autocross instructor for 7 or 8 years, which bled into some track day instructing. And I was an autocross competitor for probably about 9 or 10 years. Got really good. That was like my 20s. I spent my 20s like deep into the world of motorsports. And yeah, I've never let it go. I can't necessarily afford to be into motorsports anymore, which is probably a good thing, because boy, oh boy. My favorite saying in the world of motorsports is, hey, you know how you make $1 million in motorsports? Start with 2. It's just outrageously expensive in even autocross, which is like the cheapest possible form of it. To be competitive, you end up spending $5 to $10 grand a year easy, which is not that much money, but it's a lot. It adds up. Very fun though. If you have the budget for it, motorsport is magic. Doubles FPV says, I used to run an action cam from the chin of my motorcycle helmet for track days, and it was a sick angle. Yeah, helmet mounted action cams are awesome. Can I get a channel? What is he barking at 11:20 at night? You guys got that? All right, I heard the front door open and close, so somebody's handling it. Can I get a channel? Worked at Sonoma Raceway, you lucky bastard, for 3.5 years. Seen some crazy shit and worked for a few years. Personally, Arturo Keller. Personally, for Arturo Keller, I actually don't know who that is. Not bragging, it just happened. I don't know who that is. Denzel the Turbo says, you got a link for the Senna video. I don't. But it is good enough that I'm going to take a second to to find it for you because it's in my history, so it won't take long for me to find it. Or maybe it will. Where the hell is it? There it is. Where the hell is the copy link address button? There it is. Here you go. Enjoy. Nate Adams says, what do you think of the McLaren W1, that long tail active spoilers wild? Yeah, the car, ever since the Holy Trinity, right? McLaren P1, 918, 981, whatever the hell the Porsche is, and the LaFerrari, ever since then, it's just been dumb. Like the infusion of technology and money really into hypercars has been off its face. And I truthfully have not been able to keep track. I follow way more folks that are like into grassroots motorsports channels like Speed Academy, Gears and Gasoline, Jackie Ding, stuff like that. So yeah, I've really lost track of hypercar stuff because the development has just been ridiculous. But yeah. All right, we're going to get started in a minute on the giveaways, I promise. I'm almost caught up. Scotty Scott says, at 43, you raise much, wait till you get to 67. You won't know what much is, yeah. CJ says, I plan to take it to autocross just for funsies. You absolutely should. Everyone should take all of their cars to an autocross or 2 or 15. It's just magic, and it's not going to hurt anything. It is, yeah, it's just an incredible experience, and you will become a way better driver really quickly. Use the instructors, let them drive your car, beg them to ride with you as often as possible. It is fantastic. Everyone should do at least a few autocrosses in their lifetime. It's fantastic. All right, friends, the giveaways have started. One of the other perks of joining my Patreon is that there is a channel over on my Discord called Aaron Ciotti forgets the name of the channel once a month, every month. It's called the Video Collective. I think it's called the Video Collective. I'm the worst sometimes. It is called... I only forgot for like 5 seconds this time. It's called the Video Collective. It's where you can post your flight edits or just raw flights or whatever videos you want. And then fellow gangly gangers, which is what we call this group of, this band of merry morons that hang out here and support me on Patreon. Yeah, you guys can comment on each other's videos and be cool and be nice and all that good stuff. I gotta click a couple buttons and do a couple of things to set these giveaways up because I give you guys the most possible time to jump into the Patreon tiers here. And so while I'm clicking a couple of those buttons, I grab 3 of these videos and play them. This is your chance of getting featured or whatever on my live streams. I don't do it more often because the music copywriting is a complete nightmare. So yeah, when I do this, I have to play some jank-ass music for you, but it's not terrible. Let me actually, hold on. That's not it. There's a song that's the perfect length. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, God, that's certainly not it. Hold on. Gang. Why do I swear to God, I remember labeling it with a color. That's absolutely not it. Neither is that. We know that one. That ain't it either. Ooh, this might be it. That's not it. Come on, man. Where? I'm gonna label it this time, so I don't forget again. That's not it. Nope, that's not it. This is it. All right, so I'm gonna play this copyright-free music, tagging it red so that I don't forget next time. There we go. And yeah, I'm gonna play a couple of these videos. Look at that Bentley. That is a 60s Bentley indeed. Good Lord. What a project. All right, so first up we're gonna have Metal Dirtskin FPV plane chasing. And so let me just open this up and mute it. And and pull that over here because I'm going to share this monitor. And then we're going to be taking a look at, well, CMYK FPV did not put YouTube links, and so I can't play those. Curtis Hayes, Denver Dive, 1 minute. Here we go. Just cue this up a little bit, and I'm gonna hook him up, and I'm gonna cue this far forward enough that you guys can see the dive there. That's perfect right there. All right, and then the third video you're gonna see is just another Kevin FPV with some tiny whooping, it looks like. Push this forward a little bit. Jesus, homeboy's in the clouds. All right, I'm gonna pause it here right before he dives out of the clouds. And then for Metal Dirt Skin, I'm gonna move that forward. Here he is. I see a wing that he's chasing. All right, cool. Enjoy this. These are your fellow gangly gangers ripping around. I need to go here to make sure the audio comes through, and I'm going to drop all 3 links on you at once. There's Metal Dirt Skin. Here's Curtis Hayes. Click these links and go subscribe to these people, or else I will slap you in public. Support your fellow gangly gangers, yo. Coolest group of people on the internet. All right. I'll be right back. Wait, I gotta click this. And that. My God, for whatever reason, that song is just the exact right length. Like, I just finished doing it. Click those links, friends. Go subscribe to some channels. Follow some pilots that hang out with you in chat and support them. It's a pain in the ass to fly and then edit and then upload and make a thumbnail and make a description. But that is, like, a big part of, like, old school FPV and, like, real proper freestyle FPV. And so, yeah, the more we can support the people that are still doing that in 2024, the more stuff we'll have to watch, right? Like, you can't tell me that you haven't thought to yourself at least a couple of times over the last few years, where the hell are all the flight edits? Like, I mean, I guess it's maybe just folks that have been around longer, but YouTube used to be fucking filled with flight edits, like bomb-ass flight edits. And yeah, there's a couple here and there, but it's not like it used to be. The more we support the folks that are doing it, the more we'll have. So let's fix the problem ourselves instead of just bitching about it. What do you say? I've got all 3 of these set up and ready to go. Let me pull this over here. And cool. First up, we've got the Cinewhoop and Toothpick tier. And we've got a little bit of a Beta FPV bonanza. I mean, not really, but there's a couple Beta FPV things in here. Oh, so yeah, first and foremost, we've always got a bunch of stickers and whatnot. And so we've got some Fly Tribe love, Salt Lake City Racing, which is the old name for We Bleed FPV. Little ATEC FPV sticker, CMYK FPV sticker. Very cool little CiottiFPV keychain tag thing that I believe Custom FPV printed for me. Thank you for that, dude. Little Broken Prop Crew sticker. All right. And then we've got a very cool little, it says 6 packs a day on it. There it is. Little 300 mAh 1S holder. We've got a bag painstakingly organized by me of one of every Gem Fan Cinewhoop propeller. Like, for real. One of every. 1.2 inch, 1.6 inch, even the 45 millimeter props are in here. So like 1 or 1.5 sets of every single thing. I literally, one of my sponsor boxes from Gem Fan, I was like, hey, I just want like one of every Cinewhoop prop. And then I sat there for hours and hours and hours, taking them all out, counting them all, right side, clockwise, counterclockwise, the right number of each, and I made a whole bunch of these bags with one of every Gem Fan prop. I hope you appreciate it. Damn it. Good God, did that take a shitload longer than I thought it would. This is a little Beta FPV box of... Oh, fart. This canopy here in all the colors. With like mounting hardware and everything. There's like 6, white, black, whatever, all the different colors. So we got this. We've got a Beta FPV Meteor 75 frame. The Air 65 frame. And then a We Bleed FPV prop popper. If you don't have a prop popper yet, I hope you win, because good Lord, they'd be saving your fingies. There you go, friends. That's the Cinewhoop and Toothpick tier giveaway for tonight. Let's see who's going to win it. This, and so let's go full screen here. Wait, no. Hold on. Get out of there. I swear I'm not pooping. I'm just clicking the wrong button. Here we go, yo. Let's see who's going to win it while I put these things back in the bag. When the goat screams, even a belabored scream, that means somebody's about to win some shit. Feigning Goat is off on the left there. King Turkey is right above him. They're hanging in. David is on the bottom left, hanging in. Render is off there on the right. Oh, he's gone. CMYK got blown away too. Anthony Bose, you've won, my friend. Congratulations. You're getting some stuff. So one of the main reasons that I kind of have to do these giveaways through Patreon is that I can force you guys to put your addresses in there. And so all I have to do here is write down Anthony, B-O-U-S, and then I can grab his address from Patreon. Back before I realized this, and I would just do these giveaways and be like, yo, send me your address. People wouldn't send me their address. And there was a point where I had like, oh my God, like over 20 unclaimed giveaways. And it was like taking up a lot of space, and it was just like annoying. So yeah, I found a better way of doing it, and that involves Patreon. So yeah, there you go, friends. The fourth giveaway that we do is open to everyone, but you have to enter the giveaway with actual money here live. And so you can't go away, and you can't ignore me, because you've paid actual money to get into the giveaway. And that prevents people from never claiming their shit. And all of my problems went away once I figured those two things out. Go figure. Next up, we've got the 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop tier. And we've got a whole bunch of stickers, of course. All the same stickers, but also a Billy Waffles FPV sticker. And a FPV Freestyle King sticker. All the other ones are the same. Same cool little CiottiFPV keychain jib jab. And then we've also got a set of 4 of these little silicone caps, which you can use on your XT30s if you ever fly or you just want to be ultra safe. And then we've got a set of GemFan 3.5 by 2.2. They're the low pitch GemFan 3.5-inch props. And then the main course is a newbie drone / Cricket FPV 20 by 20 ESC. Brand new, never soldered up. Look at that. This is an ESC that will also actually work on 5-inch rigs. But when it comes to 20 by 20 ESCs, I'm kind of like, yeah, those are for micros. And then 30 by 30 ESCs are for 5-inch rigs. Not 100% of the time, but that's just sort of a nice little rule of thumb. So there you go, yo. Let's see who's going to win this. Here are the names. The goat is just as tired as ever. Oh, he woke up a little bit. Okay. Little fella. Frank Nicholas is on the top there. He's hanging in. Aaron FPV next to him. Kevin Sumner bottom left. Parker Lipscomb on the bottom right. Everybody's gone except Kevin Sumner has won. Congrats, buddy. Kevin Sumner is an OG mega supporter and just generally awesome human being. Well deserved. He's getting a Cricket ESC for that newbie drone gold life. Kevin Sumner. There we go. We are very lucky to have Kevin in the hobby. He does a lot. Super selfless fellow. And just an awesome person. Super fun to hang out with. Great guy. Next up, we've got the 5-inch tier. Again, all those same stickers, even the Billy Waffles sticker, which apparently got wet at some point. The sticker's fine. The backing material is jacked up. And then, yeah, nope, same stickers as the 3-inch tier. We've also got, check this out, guys. Check this out. Look at this. Look how fancy this is. Ready? Ready? We've got an FPV camera. I've no idea. There's no manufacturer, no nothing. No information whatsoever. But what we know is it's an FPV camera that was made in China. Let me know how it is. I've got a set of the silicone caps for XT60s. 6 of them this time. 3 red, 3 black. We've got a set of the Rotor Riot skids. Set of 4, of course. We've got a Rush FPV extra long cherry antenna. If you didn't know, these are made by True RC. So this is just an awesome True RC antenna with a cool little red color going on. And then we've got the I think it's TCI is the company. Avenger 225 HD frame. I'm told by Frank Nicholas that this is actually a really good frame. It comes with a bunch of TPU printed. All the frame pieces you need. Little standoffs. There you go. 225mm motor to motor. TCI Avenger. It says Avenger HD, so I'm assuming that there's also 20 by 20 mounting in the rear for Vista or 03, whatever. That's the 5-inch tier, my friends. Let's see who wins. With a go! Oh, he got tired on that one. Bob Noxious is hanging in on the top right. Parker Lipscomb, even farther top right. P. Richard Scott, top left there. John Dawson on the left. Everybody that I just mentioned other than John Dawson. No. Patrick still... Well, they're all gone. Christopher Dilks is a friend of mine who has told me to always respin when he wins. So we're going to hit play again. And the goat is going to belabor scream one more time. Parker Lipscomb is top right this time, next to Aaron FPV. Kevin Sumner hard left. Kevin James right in the middle on the top there. He's gone. Propellant FPV is hanging in on the top right. Bob Noxious on the bottom right. Here we go. It's Kevin Sumner. Kevin has won again. 2 per live stream. That is super rare. I think that's happened once before in CMYK says reroll. If Kevin's in the chat, he might actually tell me to re-roll it. Let's hold on. I can actually check the participant list. Let's see. Oh no, that's right. That doesn't really work. If Kevin jumps in and says to re-roll it, we will. Otherwise, if he tells me to, there he is. Nice. He says, wait, Kevin, you won twice. You won the 3-inch micro brushless tier, which the main item is a 20x20 newbie drone Cricket FPV ESC, and then you won the 5-inch tier as well, which is this TCI Avenger 225 frame. I will gladly ship you both, but I have a funny feeling that you're going to tell me to re-roll one of them. Also on the 5-inch tier is like a long Rush Tank cherry antenna, and then the normal stuff, you know, a whole bunch of stickers and whatnot. Oh, sorry, no, the main item. This might, Kevin says re-roll 5-inch. This might change your mind. This might change your mind. Hang on, just hang on a second. This is important stuff. This is also included in the 5-inch tier. It's the FPV camera that's been made in China. Has that changed your mind? No manufacturer whatsoever. Maybe the name of the manufacturer is FPV camera. All right, we're gonna re-roll the 5-inch, the 5-inch tier. Very cool of you, Kevin. Thank you, brother. Very, very cool of you. Here we go. Play again, and the goat's gone. Ah! No, he's right where he should be. John Godwin is on the left hanging in. Crom is on the right hanging in. Parker Lipscomb by Motor 1. Frank Nicholas a little bit farther down from Parker. Kevin James on the bottom there. Patrick Scott by Motor 3. It's going to be either Patrick... It's P. Richard Scott. I can drop this off to him next week when we hang. Amazing. Congrats, Patrick. You've got an Avenger 225 HD. Flying Carrot says, how does one get in? You join my Patreon on either the $5, $10, the $5 or up tiers. But we're about to do a 4th giveaway that's open to anybody, which I'll explain in one second. Actually, I don't need to put this in a bag for him. I can save one of these. I can save one of these bags. I can just make a pile of this stuff. I always have like a pile of stuff that. Nice, nice, Kevin. I always have a pile of stuff waiting to go over to Patrick. Right now it's got a bunch of BT 2.0 batteries in it. So I will put this in the pile. Wait, no, I'll put it in the bag and then I just won't let him take the bag. What am I saying? These cool custom printed shipping bags that I send all these giveaways out in. But I'm actually running out of these, so I'm being a little bit more stingy. I'm going to make that fucker use the FPV camera. Say I won't. Say I won't! He's going to use that FPV camera, and he's going to tell us all about it in the chat. Congratulations, everybody. Last giveaway is coming up. Hang on. All right, we're doing it. Last giveaway is you can enter via PayPal or Super Chat. And I'll explain how right now. So what you're going to do, here's how it works. It's $5 a ticket. You can PayPal me $5 per ticket, or you can Super Chat $5 per ticket. There's no limit. You can enter this as many times as you want. Here's what you're playing for. I hate the way this helmet looks with the visor up. But I don't think you guys are going to be able to hear me with... No, I guess you can. Hopefully you can actually tell what I'm saying. If not, well, you know, it could be better or worse. Here's what you're playing for, my friends. Again, there's no limit. If you really want something in here, you can send me $50 and I'll do 10 tickets for you. It's $5 a ticket to get on the wheel. Here's what you're playing for. It's not a wheel. It's tickets, and they get blown away by a quad. CiottiFPV sticker sheet designed by CMYK-FPV. There's 5 stickers on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fly Tribe sticker. Weebleed sticker. The little 6 packs a day battery holder. Brain 3D holographic sticker. The little keychain thing. A little, look at this. Little Fat Shark branded glasses cleaner. You know what I'm saying? A little tiny thing of super glue. Because if you get any bigger of a thing of super glue, the son of a bitch is just going to dry out anyway. So get the little ones. Flywoo sticker sheet. A little sheet of the little foam feet for the cockroach frames, or any Cinewhoop frame, really. Danish Stallion sticker. Broken Prop Crew sticker. Netcat sticker. CMYK sticker. And now the really good stuff. Impossible to get. Gangly Gang. Little, whatever this is called. Electronic Goop from Mass Adhesives, version 2. And then the oh so beautiful Gangly Fan, designed and created and manufactured by Douglas Otwell. The only way to get this is to win this giveaway. That's what you're... I can't wear this helmet for long periods of time. As beautiful as it is, the problem is talking in it. Like, when you talk in helmets, all your hot air just goes up to the top of the helmet, and the helmet just fills up with hot air, and it's just brutal. If you're not talking in a helmet, it's fine. It's why anytime anybody delivers lines of dialogue or whatever, reviews or whatever, they always have an open face helmet. You'll never catch somebody with a full face helmet doing that. It's also because it muffles them a little bit. But I mean, you guys could probably hear me, right? It's more that it's extremely uncomfortable, and it fills up with all of your hot air that you're undoubtedly spewing while driving some shit around a racetrack. There you go, friends. That's how you do it. $5 a ticket, super chats, or PayPals. Whew! Man, it gets hot in a hurry. It's funny. I have not like talked a bunch in a helmet in many years, back since autocross days in like my 20s, when I was an instructor, and I immediately remember why it sucks so bad to talk while wearing a full face helmet. When I would instruct, I wouldn't wear my helmets. I would wear the loaner helmets, which were open faced, because yeah, after 1 or 2 times doing it with a closed face helmet on, I was just like, this is murder. As cool as it is to see pictures of the Stig in the passenger seat of the students that I was instructing, it's not worth it. Not worth it. All right. CMYK says yell more. Was it hard to hear me? I hope you guys heard me. Do I have to say all that again? Well, somebody just PayPal'd, so I'm assuming I don't have to say all that again. Oh wait, shit! I didn't want to do that. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get. There we go. Come on. All right, there it is. All right. And Scotty Scott with a $10 super chat. He's getting on the wheel 2 times. Let's get this rolling here. All right. Scotty Scott, you are on here once and twice. Thank you, brother. Let me get some spaces going. Okay, got it. Let me jump into my email. Most people at this point do PayPal so that YouTube doesn't take their money, but it's all good either way. Why are there only 3? Because the other one's over there. Got it. I do not have the white suit, Danzilla. The somewhat correct white Alpine Stars old school Stig racing suit is. Oh, I used to know exactly how much it cost. It's over $600. It's big fucking money. And a white racing suit is about the dumbest thing you could possibly do because they're very hot, so it'll turn yellow from sweat very quickly. And then when you end up having to work on your car, and then it's just going to get absolutely disgusting. It's just a terrible idea. Yeah. I'm vain in some ways, but not that vain. Hold on, my OBS window was buried. I didn't know what scene I was on. All right. Hold on. CiottiFPV sent $20. He says, one each for the two newest patrons. One for Danzilla, one for Marcel, the other stash off axis. All right, here we go. And so we've got Danzilla. We've got off axis. And then the two newest patrons are Aaron Muller. Welcome to the Gangly Gang, Aaron. He jumped onto the Patreon at 10:11 this afternoon. All right, you're on there? Sorry, I had the wrong scene up. And then we've also got C. Joe. Congratulations, friends. Say a big thank you to CiottiFPV. Because of him, you are both in the running to win all this fun stuff. And to both of you, thank you for joining the old Gangly Gang. Very, very cool of you. You were both entered into the previous giveaways, but neither one of you won. Next time you'll win for sure, though. That's how it works. Thank you, CMYK, for the support. Frank Nicholas with a $25 super chat. Frank Nicholas. So there are a lot of OG fans who've been supporters for a long time, and a whole bunch of them have won this giveaway and have won a Gangly fan. Frank has been trying to win a Gangly fan, and I think I even offered to send him one because I felt bad at one point because he did this, bought a bunch of tickets a bunch of months in a row, and I believe it was him or somebody else that I offered to just basically send them one, and they were like, no, I will win it fair and square or I will not have one. So Frank has bought 5 tickets here tonight, and if he wins, I'm going to scream so loud that I lose my voice. Metal Dirtskin with a $5 PayPal. Let's get John Ray on in here. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Frank. Kevin Sumner, holy hell, with a $50 PayPal. He says, plus 5 tickets for each of the first 2 folks to Super Chat. All right. So how did that... So that's all. Right, because Kevin has a Gangly fan. Cool. So 5 each for the first 2 Super Chats. Oh shit, Nightwing is one of them. It's Scotty Scott and Nightwing. Scotty Scott has the most tickets so far because he bought 2 and now he's getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Scotty Scott is the one to beat. Nightwing is close behind because he did a $5 super chat, so he gets that one. But then because of Kevin Sumner, he gets 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is, friends. Those are the 2 big dogs so far. We've got Daniel Mulliner with $20 PayPal. Daniel's going on here 4 times. Thank you for the support, my friend. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a little bit of Double Deuce with a $10 PayPal. He's going on here 2 times. Thank you, dude. And 1 and 2. There it is. All right. We got that. And there's the email from Weebleed talking about the 802 25,000s. I didn't see that before I started the stream. Speaking of, I'll give you guys another couple of seconds here. Speaking of shout-outs, Well-deserved shout-outs. George Ramstead, welcome to the Gangly Gang. Thank you for jumping onto the Patreon, my friend. Very cool of you. I've got a couple of emails here. Brandon Vega, thank you for jumping on, man. Welcome to the gang. We've got Soulless. Thanks, dude. Welcome. Steve Dutton, welcome to the gang. Preston Roach, PayPal'd me, I think, just to support me. Preston, thank you so much for the support. Or maybe this was to buy something and he forgot to leave it in a note. But if it was just for support, thank you so much, Preston. Very cool of you. There's Steve Dutton. Anthony Bose, B-O-U-S. Thank you for joining the Gangly Gang, my friend. I appreciate the support on Patreon. Michael Jordan, thank you as well, dude. Very cool of you. Kenan Martin, welcome to the gangliest of gangs. Michael Biggs, thank you for the PayPal, for the support over on PayPal, brother. He sent $12.63. Such a specific number. And then we've got John Allen. Oh, John Allen and Doubles FPV. Thank you guys so much for joining the Patreon. Welcome to the most gangly of all the gangs that you've ever been in. I think that gets me caught up. Nope. John Roast and Gamley as well. Thank you for joining, friends. These are shout-outs from the last couple of weeks. My email's been an absolute war zone. Thank you guys all so much. It's so cool that that you guys are willing to spend your hard-earned dollars on a stranger on the internet. LOL, the Kiddison with a $5 super chat. He says, no ticket, Teddy Fund. Nice. He cares about this dog more than winning FPV stuff. That's a kind and caring human being right there. All right, I think we're good to go. I got this. I got this. All right, let's see who's going to win this. I'm going to go here and delete, delete, delete. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Oh my God, the goat might be all the way dead. That was awful. Daniel M is up top there hanging in. Scotty Scott is hard to the right. Frank Nicholas is by motor number 1. Oh, it's Nightwing FPV. It was between Nightwing and Frank Nicholas, and Nightwing got him at the last second. Congratulations, Nightwing. You better say a big old thank you to CMYK FPV. And for God's sakes, next time you need a graphic designer, you better hire his ass. Congratulations, brother. I put the bag down here for some strange reason. You have won the gangliest of fans, as well as a whole bunch of other really fun stuff. Nightwing, here's the deal. If you're a patron, I have your email, I have your address, and you're good to go. If you're not a patron, just message me somewhere. Instagram, Facebook. If you go to CiottiFPV.com, there's even my email address there. Shoot me a message somewhere, anywhere, with your address, your physical address, your actual name you want me to ship it to. And I'm sorry, it was... Oh, was it from Kevin Sumner? It was from Kevin Sumner. Sorry. It was from Kevin Sumner. Good call, CMYK. Thank you. Yeah, yours was from Kevin. Hook that man up with a massive thank you. Real name, address, and your email address for tracking. Send that on over, and I'll send you some awesome stuff. Nightwing. I don't even really need to write your name down here because you're going to be messaging me, but I do it anyway, just in case. Not that I can ever find anyone on the internet from their names, although Nightwing got to be able to find. You guys wouldn't believe, like, there was this period of time where I was figuring out how to do these giveaways that, like, I had a row of these things all stacked up front to back under this desk in my other apartment in my apartment in Charleston, and I'll never forget it. It came all the way out to the front of the desk, and then I had to start putting a second row. And when I started putting the second row, I was like, I got to figure out a better way to do this. You know, this is absurd. It was just impossible. And then I would, like, every week, I would look through these people's wacky YouTube names, because YouTube makes it almost impossible to get in touch with people. Like, it doesn't show any information unless they've uploaded videos. The only way to get in touch is to comment on their videos. So I had all these people's YouTube names. And it was just like, I can't find any of these people. It was maddening. Eventually, I just put a whole bunch of them back into the giveaways. I gave it I think I gave it like a year that I let them sit there. And then I was like, no, I'm not, this is silly. All right, let me get caught back up on chat. Thanks to everybody for playing and supporting me and just being generally awesome. What a cool community of people. Love you guys. Kevin Sumner says racing helmet for the Christmas stream this year. Nah, man, it's just impossible. I mean, in that amount of time that I had that on, what, like 3 or 4 minutes, the visor was completely fogged up, and I started like sweating like absolute hell. It's just unrealistic. I tried to wear it on a very early sim racing stream as like a joke, and it's just impossible. They're just not full face helmets. You just can't talk in them. It's brutal. Chip Good says, and we know CiottiFPV has a lot of hot air. Yeah, indeed. Joe says, oh shit, I didn't. The answer is no anyway. I gave $20 earlier. Does that count? No, we kind of set like a cutoff, because then it's like I got to go back through the entire stream, and like I know that kind of sucks, but now you know. So beginning of next month, you'll wait longer to do a super chat. Sorry, dude. Melder Ritson says PayPal just won. Oh no, we got that. Denzel says the other way suit too. We talked about that. Chip Good says, is Mobula 8 okay or meh? Should I just stick with the Beta FPV 75? I'm going to be going back down the 2-inch Cinewhoop rabbit hole at some point here to see if they've gotten any better. Previously, the biggest problem with them was that they're just fragile. The frames are fragile. For the amount of weight that size build ends up being, the frames don't hold up worth a shit. I've been told that the new HGLRC 2-inch Cinewhoop frame is actually really durable. It's also very heavy. So I don't know how big of a motor it's going to need. I don't know how big of a battery it's going to take. So, and like, here's the other thing about 85mm Cinewhoops is like the frame is getting so big that like half your camera view is going to be taken up by the damn ducts. So yeah, we're going to test it in the future for sure, but it's like very low priority. The 75mm builds are awesome, and there's not a whole lot of scenarios where you're going to really be able to get much more. Like, if you want more than a 75, I kind of think that at that point you should go to a toothpick, a 2-inch, a 2.5-inch toothpick. But I will give it another shot just to kind of see. But yeah, man, the performance you can get out of these 75mm rigs is wild nowadays. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll dive back into it, but at the moment it's like, CMYK says, no, you're perfectly audible. LMAO, I'm just being an asshole. Nice. CMYK says, new fund equals white racing suit. Yeah, no, I'm not going to make a $600+ fund and spend it on a fucking, on an Alpine Star suit. Flying Carrot says, what 0702 motors would you recommend for durability and plenty of power? Since durability is the first thing you said, the brand new Weebleed FPV 0702 32,500 kV 1.5mm motor shaft motors are what I would recommend. Again, because you said durability first. They also do have plenty of power. 32,500 kV is awesome. Keep in mind that there are only two 1.2-inch propellers available that are 1.5mm motor shaft compatible. Luckily, one of them is on Weebleed, and it's the 1210 Biblade, which is an awesome propeller, one of my favorites. And I'm sure that some of the other manufacturers, I'm sure that GemFan will make another one, and hopefully HQ will make their ultralight in 1.5mm, and then we will have hopefully the 1210 Biblade, the 1219S Tri-Blade, and then the HQ ultralight Tri-Blade. And those are really the only three Cinewhoop props that are worth running at this point, because they're so much better than all the rest. The other propeller that is available with a 1.5mm motor shaft is the GemFan 1208 Tri-Blade, which is okay. It's not a great prop, but it's okay. Danzel the Terrible says, Daniel M is me. Oh, nice. Danzel the Terrible also said, oh, we got that. Cjo says, I met you in person once. Let's see if you remember where. No, not a chance in hell, dude. I've met so many people in this FPV community. I can't keep anybody straight. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that makes being on YouTube really difficult. You guys have, not all of you, but some of you guys have one name on YouTube, another actual human being name, another name on PayPal, another name on Facebook, another name on Instagram, another name on Discord, right? So like 10,000 subscribers, potentially times 6. 60,000 different names floating around, and I'm bad with names as it is. I have no idea, Cjo. Sorry, brother. It's not personal. It's just that it's just an unreasonable number of different things that people go by to try to remember. Danzilla the Terrible says, get your mom to sew you a white stick suit. Yeah, right. Cjo says, I met you at the protest in DC. Nice. Very cool. Oh, man, that's going back a ways. Jesus. Man, that was back when I was still using Facebook, wasn't it? Maybe. Wait, hey, I said I was going to look that up. I have a Facebook. One of the last... I used to put tons of my photography up on Facebook, and I had like a really well organized set of albums in there. I think one of the last albums that I ever did was from that protest. But no, I did put 6 batteries in the title of the stream. So we got to fly. We got to fly 6 batteries. And so do you. 6 batteries a day, every single day, my friends. You will be able to fly like me in just a quick couple of years. Now, you could, if you legitimately did 6 batteries a day every single day, you could probably get to where I'm at in like a year. It depends. Everybody learns at a different rate, but yeah, if you do 6 a day every day as a pilot, you will be transformed month over month over month. You will look at your flight footage from the previous month and be like, wow, I sucked. And then a month from then, you will have that same experience. Like, it's just, if 6 a day, I'm telling you, if you do 6 every single day, that's just enough time to get warmed up and to like really get better. It makes a huge, huge, huge difference. So do it. It'll take you like a half an hour if you're doing it on Cinewhoop. It'll take you longer if you're doing it on anything else. I wanted to update a couple of these and then fly them after the updates. I'm not going to fly 6. I'm going to fly 2. But we are going to update one of these. I'm going to show you the safest and quickest way to update. This is on Betaflight 4.3, which is ELRS 2.5. I'm going to show you really quickly how to update this safely to the newest version of Betaflight with ELRS 3.0. This way I don't have to take the 3.0 module out of my transmitter. Ready? Look how easy this is. That being said, don't just update for the sake of updating. If there's something in the new update, in the newest Betaflight update that you're actually interested in, sure. If there's not, don't update. You're just introducing the potential for like problems. If you've got a rig that's flying fine, fly the damn thing. Just keep flying it. Fly it a lot, because then you'll get better, and then it feels good to get better. So, like I said, this is on 4.3.0. Here's how you do it. You come in here to presets, and you click this Save Backup button. This is going to do a CLI dump, and you're going to save it somewhere. For me, I'm saving it to my desktop. This is an important step. Open that file and make sure that there's text in it. Every once in a while, when you do that, the only text in there is like, I don't know, like end something stupid. I don't know why it does it. It's yet another weird little silly bug in Betaflight, but that's important. Make sure that you look at this real quick to make sure that it's going to look like this. It's a CLI dump. There's going to be, it's a diff actually. So that's important. Remember I told you, I'm going to show you how to do this safely. There are a couple of important steps. Then you're going to come in here to click Update Firmware. You're going to click Auto Detect. It's going to find the target. It's going to, by default, give you the newest version. full chip erase should be on. You're going to click Load Firmware Online right here. It's going to load the firmware. This flash firmware button is going to become available. You're going to click that. This is now going to pop up a window that says that it's going to wipe out the settings, and there's a Create Backup button. Don't use this. Do it manually the way that I just showed you, because if you do this and it does that weird bug where this file that it's going to create from this is empty, you're going to lose everything. So don't use this. If you hit this and you're like, shit, I forgot to back it up, click, unplug your shit. There's no cancel button. So unplug your stuff at the, your quad at this point so that you can go in there and do it the right way. Don't take that chance. It'll bite you in the ass as soon as you take it. Since I've already created the backup, I can click Ignore the Risk, and now it's going to start to update your rig to the newest version of Betaflight. Chipgood says, do you fly 65 or 75 more? It depends on what I'm testing. At the moment, I'm testing a lot of 75 stuff, motors and frames and that stuff, so I've been flying a lot of 75 lately. Previously, I was testing a lot of 65 stuff, so I was flying that constantly. If given the choice, I will almost always fly a 65 over a 75, although it kind of depends on like where I'm flying. 65 for inside, 75 for outside. So yeah, it really does depend. Usually I'm pretty lazy and I'll fly inside a lot, so it's a lot of 65 mil stuff. Tiny Shark FPV says, would you by any chance know a solution for using two 1S300 MEH batteries for the 2S 75mm Walksnail build? Nope, that's why I didn't do that, is because I don't know how to hold those two batteries. On the tiny lifters, the Cockroach 75 frame allows it. There are little 3D printed pieces that allow you to do it. I don't know of a way of doing it for anything other than that frame, and that's not really a realistic frame for a freestyle rig. All right, so now programming is successful. We're going to click Connect. We can ignore this because we have that backup. And so now you're going to come into presets again, and you're going to, instead of clicking Save Backup, you're going to click Load Backup. And now because this rig was on an old, it wasn't on 4.4, it was all the way back to 4.3. This is also going to be the case if you're 4.2, 4.1, 4.0. There are going to be some things that throw up some errors, and I'm going to show you that in one quick second. Hold on, the names of these two. Okay, so I just put a little note on there, and that shows me that one. I have two of these backup files. And now it's going to click, say applying configuration. This is applying all of those changes in that dump. When they update Betaflight, sometimes they change the names of the things in the CLI. And so I got this message here that says, warning, configuration has been applied with CLI errors. If you ever get this warning, all you got to do is start scrolling down and you'll see the red text. And the red text is basically saying, hey, this change that you're trying to make, I don't know what that name means. The story is what I just said a second ago. They've changed the name of this item. So what you need to make sure is that this isn't something that's super important. All right. So just read it. In this case, it says error, invalid name, OSD underscore stat underscore timer underscore 1. Who cares? It's an OSD thing. OSD is not mission critical. We can go into the OSD and manually fix this. No sweat. Keep scrolling. These are OSD, 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 OSD. That's we don't care. We can do them manually. Here's another one. Error name, set name equals Ciotti. That's fine. In the configuration tab where you set the name, I can go in there and type Ciotti. No sweat. Not a big deal. Set anti-gravity gain, 5,000. Error, invalid value. This is a little bit more important, but when it tells you this, what it's meaning is it's not going to change this. So this is now not going to change the anti-gravity gain. That's totally fine because in Betaflight 4.5, the default anti-gravity gain works really, really well. So doesn't matter. We could ignore that one as well. Keep scrolling and no more red. Now, red text for rate profile 4 because that no longer exists, and rate profile 5 that no longer exists. If you had rate profiles on profile 4 or 5, they wouldn't come over, but I doubt it. And that's it. No more red text, and now we're safe. Save anyway. And we've just taken that full old diff, everything that we've changed from 4.3 and transferred it over to 4.5. You've lost your bind, so I'm going to have to rebind this. See, the craft name is emptied out. Now I'm going to have to fill that in. Sometimes it turns off the OSD switch too. That's a little bit weird, but you'll notice that because there won't be any OSD over here. And then you come up to configuration and turn that OSD switch back on. Save and reboot. After you do this, you do want to do a quick spot check, which is what you see me doing now. Just quickly click through these and make sure that there's not something super weird. And this all looks fine. Rates are in there. Filters look okay. Receiver, we do have to rebind it, so let's take care of that now in the middle of the spot check. So I'm going to click bind receiver, fire up the transmitter, wait for the Express LRS module, bind mode, press to send binding request. From now on, when you bind in here, get into the habit of, instead of just clicking save, click refresh first. Usually you don't need to, but sometimes you do. And if you get into the habit of always clicking bind, then refresh, then save, you'll never have to worry about that annoying, weird little bug that happens every once in a while. And so now we are bound. All is right with the world. Let me just... I used to set these a little bit higher, but now I keep them a little bit... whatever. Words go here. Adjustments, aux2, the motor stuff will come over. That'll all be fine. In the OSD, we had a couple of those OSD stat things. Those are down here. Those are your post-flight statistics. They've changed the name on a bunch of these. So if you have a specific set of post-flight stats that you like, you're going to have to redo them manually. RSSI minimum, link quality minimum, that's a good one. ESC temperature maximum is a great one. ESC RPM maximum is an awesome one. Turn off black box number, black box usage. Battery voltage minimum is a good one. Current battery voltage is another good one. MAH used is good. Current draw maximum is really good as well. Save it, and just like that, we have updated and brought everything over, and the transmitter beeps at the perfect time. That's how you do it, friends. Let's see if it flies. We've got flat part of the BT 2.0 towards me. And this is the Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop on 0702 32,000 kV motors with the HQ ultralight tri-blades. Okay. Well, where's my OSD gone? Why no OSD? There's another weird thing that happens sometimes where it sets the OSD to HD. I'm going to assume that that's what's happened here. That's one of the reasons why you want to spot check, is because you can hopefully catch stuff like that. Let's see if that's what's going on here. Nope, it's on NTSC. What the hell? NTSC. Let me check my adjustments, make sure that this is right. Yeah. aux2. Check the modes tab real quick. OSD disable. And we just had this happen the other night. What was the deal with it the other night? NTSC OSD profile 1 Imperial. Off axis says he had Beta FPV refers to tiny whoops as whoop drones, which, like, for whatever reason just makes me laugh every single time. And off axis just said, I had my Whoop drone do that yesterday. No OSD for no reason. Plugged it in a second time and it came on. I hope that's what happens for me, but it's not looking great. What the hell? Why? 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 Oh, I think I had to reflash it the other day. Here's one of the ways to check is that you do the stick commands to get into the OSD. And as you can see, there's no OSD. I know that I'm in that menu because I'm going to arm it and it's not going to arm. So I'm stuck in that OSD menu. So I have to unplug and replug. Oh, the font corruption thing. Midnight Jesus. Thank you, dude. Good fucking call. Yeah. There's, man, this has now happened a couple times in a row. In the update, something wacky is going on with the OSD fonts, and they're like coming over corrupted in some odd way. And so we'll know that because the font manager will be grayed out. And yep, it is indeed grayed out. So we get to do all of that all over again. Although, let me try one thing real quick. I have a chunk of text with my analog OSD CLI stuff. Let me drop that in and see if that fixes anything. Offxis says, is it grayed out when set to auto? No, because I have it set to NTSC. Let's see if this fixes it. We can tell by whether or not it's grayed out. Holy hell! Okay, so there's a quick fix. We don't have to reinstall. Okay, so here's what you do. I don't know why I just hit that. You go to the CLI and you type diff, D-I-F-F. All right, now this is going to get your entire, well, you know what? Don't, even better yet, my friends, don't use, I'm going to have to disconnect and reconnect. Do not use the preset save backup thing. It, for some reason, seems to corrupt the OSD fonts. Instead of that whole thing that I told you about save backup, load backup, instead of doing that, come here to the CLI, type diff return. This is all that same shit that thing is saving, but it's not doing it right. So you come in here to the very bottom, click and drag, and go all the way up. It doesn't really matter. You can grab too much. It's better to grab too much than too little. Copy it into your clipboard, then do your update. If you want to be super safe, paste this into a text document, flash it to the new flight firmware, right? Pretend that we now have the new flight firmware on it. Come in here, connect, go into the CLI, paste it, hit enter. It's going to dump that all in, but it's going to not corrupt the fonts, and then type save. And then hit enter, and that will do the exact same thing, but it won't break your fonts for absolutely no reason. That is super weird, but I'm really glad that we figured that out. So yeah, just don't use it. Don't do this anymore. This only saved you like 2 seconds anyway, you know what I mean? Versus doing the CLI diff. So it's really kind of worthless to do it that way. So yeah, there you go. There's the best and safest way to actually update Betaflight without dealing with this font nonsense. So now let's confirm it. Let's confirm that I have OSD again now that the fonts aren't corrupted. That is super weird. I wonder if they know about that. I wonder if the devs know about that. Would you look at that? Oh god, poor CPU is getting all hot. Oh wait, no, did that just say CPU overclock? Is that now only like the third time? Oh, it's hot, boy. This VTX is hot. I mean, the RunCam Nano 3 is a little bit of a... little bit of a milky camera anyway, but that was ultra milky a second ago. Now it seems to be fine. I don't have any of the gates in the right spots. Well, not any, but... Hey! You know what I wanted to do? Is attempt to not crash. So just kind of fly around in a not quite so aggressive way. Less fun, but still cool, right? It's a very different flight stock for me. Is there a dog in there? There he is. Come on down, buddy. Look at that fat little mini schnauzer ass. Hey, buddy boy. Oh, God. Oh, boy. You gonna eat it. Oh, there he is. There's the buddy that we all know and love. Yeah, get it. Get it, doggo. Look at that fluff blowing in the wind. There's not going to be as much fluff to blow in the wind in a couple days. Enjoy it now, friends. Where are you? You still... Oh, buddy, look out. And when I said... I very specifically said attempt to not crash. Because we're going to crash. But, see what I mean? But if I attempt to not crash, we're going to crash less than 50 times per battery, which is very unusual for me. Oh, boy. I mean, trying to not crash, you would think it would help a lot more than this, but, you know. It is what it is. You know, the problem with attempting to not crash is... These batteries are going to last forever. I could probably fly somewhat hard without crashing all over the place. Just have to... No! Stop it. There are... things that I can do that are a lot less sketchy. Like Matty flip reversed, like backwards dives, for example. Jesus. Hey, oh! And full room power loops. That's something I can definitely do reliably. No. Don't. Thank you. Ah! The little mouth came out of nowhere. That's what she said. Oh, this battery getting down there. There you go. There's battery number 1. I'm going to do a second battery. You guys better be doing your 6, man. Come on, 6 a day. Do it with me, my friends. I fly off the stream to make sure I do my 6 a day every day, no matter what. That's why I got good. Give me that CPU overclock thing again. What is that about? That's so weird. It's very new. I've never seen that until like a week ago, and now I've seen it like 3 times. There must be something in the new version of Betaflight. Ooh, man, I backed up into that newbie drone gate. Believe it or not, that went through 2 gates. Just couldn't see it. Ooh, that almost went in my big long hair. My big long Anglo fro. Ah. All left turns, bro. Woo! Nope. Didn't get the height. Ooh! Woo! That was going right for the wall. Oh, God! I just kind of couldn't decide what I wanted to do there. You guys ever notice that nothing ever moves on the bar cart? I don't really drink anymore. Like, once a month Maggie will come down here and like pour herself like a little bit of something, but that bar cart just sits there. It is 100% decorative. We don't even really use the glasses on the damn thing either. Man, is it fucking cool looking though, isn't it? If you're into mid-century mod stuff, at least it is. Ah, there we go. We got it. Have a nice day. Ah! Oh, went through one but not the other. Are you kidding me? Where'd the dog go? Where are you at, Tedwards? Go! I almost hit him in the butthole. Oh, I thought it was he was putting his, he was like nuzzling my shins, but like I thought it was the Cinewhoop, and then I had this weird moment of like, wait, what? No, what? Okay. Oh, oh, that was a decent little run. Ah. Oh, I fucking hit the ground hard on that one. Oh, no. All right, good. I thought it was Teddy comes over for the assist. Oh, shit. Mr. Spaghetti-Word. Oh, no. So that was actually a very rare case where crash prevention hurt me. It was, I tried to make a correction when it was in crash prevention and it wouldn't let me. The stick input didn't do anything. And the correction that crash recovery made was not the right one. There it is, my friends. There's my 2. I'll do 4 more. You do all 6 of yours. I promise you. I'm serious. Like, if you fly 6 a day, you will absolutely crush. And you will feel awesome because you will be a ninja pilot, being able to rip inside the house when it's raining or when it's cold out or when you're just too goddamn lazy to go outside like me. But, I mean, you know, maybe there's bad things outside. That's why I like to stay inside. Stay away from the bad things. Ginger FPVRC says 6 to 12 packs on 5-inch every day. I'll ignore the last part of that. Ginger FPV knows what's up. Thanks for hanging out, friends. We didn't go that far over. This guy is now on ELRS 3.0. Also, I just put this onto a light AF frame. And it lost a little bit of weight. So this is the Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop. Version 100.0. We've had a lot of different versions of the Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop. And it is... Oh, I almost got it under 18 grams. It's still not quite under 18. 18.06 grams. So the official Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop formula can be brought down almost below 18, but not quite. I mean, 18.05 or whatever the hell it just said. Call it 18 grams, right? 18 grams right on the nose. Yeah, I still think, you know, I've got the 16 point something gram Mobula 6 2024 setup here, which don't get me wrong is awesome, but it's direct soldered motors. This is the V1 of the Mobula 6 2024, and the direct soldered motors are just a pain in the ass. So this is not it. This is not the Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop. This is the Ultimate Mobula 6 2024, but it's not the Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop. I've also got the Beta FPV Air 65 Ultimate build that I went completely off the rails and did 40,000 kV motors on. This is also not the Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop. The version 2 of the Mobula 6 2024 board with motor plugs, it's just not as it's not reliable enough. It's not as reliable as the 2G4 that is the AIO used in the proper Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop. So the formula has still not changed. It is still Cockroach V3 or Light AF. You can the Light AF frame is not as durable. So you pick. Ultimate Freestyle Cinewhoop is one of those 2 frames, but I'm not gonna I'm not just gonna pick one of those frames. It's just, they're both brilliant. Mobula 6, Canopy, Runcam Nano 3, ORT Micro V, and then the motors are kind of on you. If I had to pick a set of motors, it would absolutely be the 702 32,000s, hands down. It is enough kV, but not too much. They're a great set of motors. You can run whatever the hell props you want on them. Props are also open too. 3 sets of props that are absolutely incredible. The most off-throttle throw is going to come from the Gemfan 1210 biblade. The lightest weight propeller is the HQ ultralight tri-blade. The most powerful is the Gemfan 1219S. BT 2.0, and that is it. That is the ultimate freestyle Cinewhoop. This formula has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of testing and flying and everything in between. I've tried really hard to keep this out of, like, set up with off-the-shelf parts, so you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time customizing it, and then you smash it or you lose it, and you have to spend all that time all over again. It's off-the-shelf parts, so you can easily fix it, and that'll allow your brain to fly it really hard. And when you fly these things really hard, it is magic. It is durable. It is lightweight enough. I would love to get it below 18 grams, but at 18 grams it flies great, as you just saw. Yeah, this is it. I mean, this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the best FPV builds of all time. And the people that have followed this formula will almost all agree with me on that. This is fucking magic. If you have not built something to this spec, do it. It is just amazing. And you might not believe me today, but if you actually do it, let me know. Aaron Muller with the last comment of the live stream. He says, when are you putting the Y antennas on your Etsy? Maybe this week, maybe next. If you want them, just message me and give me a list of what you want, and we'll do PayPal, and it's all good. I have to take them off of a bunch of these rigs. Like, I've got the longer the regular Y antennas on a bunch of these rigs. I've got to take them off and replace them with my new custom, slightly shorter ones. I've done that with one, so I have one right now. So if you message me right now and say, yo, I want that micro V. If you want more than one, it's fine. You'll kick me in the ass to start doing it. But yeah, this week I'm going to try to get a whole bunch more stuff up on Etsy, and that's one of the first things that'll go up. So there you go. This can now go into this awesome little Cinewhoop / custom FPV box. So it's safe. Thanks for hanging, friends. Thanks for the support. Thanks for everything. I'll see you Wednesday. Whoop Wednesday, 10 o'clock Eastern time. See you then. Here is some flying. God only knows what it is. Sarah, figure out what this actually is. No, that's a corrupt file. Great. We're off to an awesome start. HD0. Oh, hey, here you go. Here's flying the tiny lifter at the car show. This is the last battery. Cool. This is what I did yesterday. You guys don't typically get to see the tiny lifter. This is shitty analog footage of it. There is also Insta360 Go 2 footage. But yeah, here you go. Here's what it looks like analog. Newbie drone AIO. So that's why the video is a little bit sort of milky. Love you guys. Bye.
Yo. Cool. I think it's really heavy.